corrupted this league. He's done everything wrong in this league. He done ruined the historical value of the All-Star game to make it all about him. LeBron's team LeBron versus Team Curry. Now it's exciting. No, it wasn't exciting because you want to put players on your team because you can't win on the East. We ain't got no good players. There was good players on the East. You suck. So you couldn't beat the West. That's just what it was. So he got tired of losing in the All-Star game every year. So now he want to change it up. The problem wasn't the All-Star game people on the East and West and switching it all up. That wasn't the problem. The problem was you weren't playing. Y'all were just sitting out there letting people dunk and y'all having conversations on the court. It's like, dude, y'all don't even play? This is boring. Ain't nobody even watching this. Y'all.
Now, here we are, people. Welcome to it. The NBA, baby. You gotta love it. The National Basketball Association. They don't like the fact that I am making this video, so they're going to do their best to make sure you don't see said video. That is correct. Now, we have been pointing this out for years, that the NBA was in trouble. We knew this back in 2020, that the league was in trouble and how bad it really was. Now, some people might say, oh, well, it ain't that bad. So, you just tripping. You're doing this, you're doing that. We knew the league was in trouble. Yep, we knew the league was in trouble. Now, why is the NBA in trouble? That is what the people need to understand. The league is in trouble because of different reasons and ways they chose to try to start how they wanted to proceed moving forward. And when they went into this deal to negotiate for a new contract, right? For a new media rights contract, it was propped up on a lot of propositions that it wasn't going to be able to fulfill. And we're going to get into what the destruction of the NBA became and why it fell so fast. Now, glad you guys got in here, those who did. For the rest of you who just got here, let's kick the intro off and let's get started. Hi, I'm Carcino. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. And I'm back. Now, these 2 numbnuts that you see behind me, Bronny and LeBron, they're part of it. They're just a visual representation of part of the problem that's going on within the league. The main part is your commissioner, Adam Silver Slipper. Adam Silver Slipper taking over as commissioner was the biggest mistake they ever made, because you have a guy who's not a basketball guy in charge. And when you have a guy that's not a basketball guy in charge, you're going to make yourself look really silly. It's going to look really bad on you. And the reason that's going to look so bad on you is because you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to sustain. You went towards the entertainment side more than you went towards the basketball side. You tampered, not tweaked, tampered with the game. See, when the NBA before would make changes, they would tweak something, but they wouldn't ruin the integrity of the game of basketball. You did. You ruined the integrity of the game for entertainment purposes. And when you did that, you took the game away and made it secondary and made the sideshow crap the entertainment of why people are here. And when you do that, you ruin the game. So you're programming people to say, F the game, watch the entertainment. And that's where you lost the fans, the people that love basketball. People didn't fall out of love with basketball. They fell out of love with the NBA. And that's one of the main problems that people don't understand. Now, Shams, whatever you want to put his name out, the NBA have formed all the teams in the league that is projecting a $165 million salary cap for 2026 and 2027, which is $1 million lower than the previous outlook due to the reduction in local media revenue. You know, so the medium salary of 149 with the tax level of 201 for the first apron, 209 for the second apron, and 222 also $1 million lower each. So they've taken $1 million off. Why would they be doing that? Because here's what I've been trying to tell you. The NBA has been broke. It's broke, been broke. They live in check to check. You didn't see that the problem was really as big as it was until it showed itself during the pandemic. Hit the like button, y'all, because we finna go there. The league don't like when I talk, but I don't give a shit. So it's going down. It's going down. Casinos around. It's going down. Now, what has been the genuine perception of all of these layers of things that has been transpired? What is the genuine perception? The genuine perception is that we are not in control. They are. They mess with the tampering of the game from everything. They worried about the uniforms. They worried about like guys arguing and fighting on the court. That's part of the game. Once you start trying to, I mean, I ain't saying somebody need to be beat bloody. I'm just saying that was part of the game. Now everybody, it's a tech for everything. No. You stopping the game every 10 seconds because a player tripped and twists his ankle. I remember a referee used to drag your ass off the court. They drug Scottie Pippen off the court to get him out the way. Be hurt on the out of bounds. Play still going on. The referees used to yell at the players. All of that is being modernly changed. Whoa, we got a massive storm coming. So what got everybody pretty much like caught in their feelings is the fact that, oh, thank you, is the fact that all of these people who had so much to say, they stand quiet because they really don't know what was happening. The NBA problem started back in I would say this goes all the way back to the Shaq and Kobe era. This is where the mistakes started. When they had the NBA and David Stern was running things, David Stern was trying to get the NBA back on track because Michael Jordan was gone. And they needed someone else to step up and be that representation. Well, that's true in certain games, but here's the thing: they have deals where you can go to the games. Believe me, it's really cheap sometimes to go to the games, but it depends on what's going on or what's happening in said scenarios. Like, I'm just refusing to pay $1,000 to see LeBron James play. Sorry, I just refuse. I know a better way to spend it, like I spent it last night. Had a good time last night. But that's neither here nor there. I won every NBA game last night, too. As I told y'all, I gave y'all all the picks. Gave y'all the picks. Told y'all Boston was beating OKC. Told you we were going to lose to Atlanta. Told all of y'all everything yesterday. And I bet you nobody bet it. Now, here's the thing. Alcino ate good last night. No, I mean, I didn't blow the whole just $1,000 in the night, but close. Had fun last night. Now, I didn't need you to tell me ATL was going to win. I saw the point spread. And I said, oh, okay. And the Pistons still almost won that game. They got robbed. But let me tell you what's going on. So back when Michael Jordan retired and NBC and the rights deal was getting ready to run out in a couple of years, and ABC was going to take over with ESPN and Disney, they wanted to implement a lot of rule changes to appease the Disney Corporation. So the Disney Corporation, they needed a champion. They went through a long negotiation because the NBA was at the highest point it had ever been to in its entire creation when Jordan retired at 98. That was the highest rating season of the NBA. So now they have a negotiation that led to a holdout, a strike, where everybody kind of got what they wanted. The players, they came back, they got a big deal, and now this thing is getting ready to pivot and go towards ABC for a new bargaining deal. NBC is not going to have the money to buy and retain the NBA because of Vince McMahon and the XFL. So once they went the Disney route, this became the undoing of the NBA. There were certain rules in place, no taunting, and you had to watch. You couldn't brag no more. You couldn't show any personality on the court, really. And they would only give exceptions to one team. They wanted to build up the Los Angeles Lakers to be a powerhouse again. So with the Kobe and Shaq, they became what they wanted people to watch. So they put all of the attention on the Los Angeles Lakers and all of the money and the marketing towards them. They didn't care about building up the league. It's all about building up the Los Angeles Lakers, not realizing that there are teams that are better than them. Like the Sacramento Kings were a better team than the Los Angeles Lakers. Let me repeat, with Bibby, Christie, Weber, Jackson, man, are you kidding me? They were with Vlade in there in the middle. They were playing way better basketball than the Los Angeles Lakers. They had bigs that could pass and they could dribble. Like Vlade could pass out of the post. Chris Webber could pass out of the post and he could dribble and be a four. He could take you out, stretch. Webb was a problem for these guys. But now you have a different scenario in play, right? Who in the East that could challenge you? They didn't worry about the East. They was all about marketing the Lakers. So the Indiana Pacers get their shot because that was the only thing they had as a star, is like Reggie Miller. Let's go get Reggie Miller his shot at the finals. So when they put that together, it ruined the entire league because they were on their way out. So it was like, okay, the Lakers are going to pretty much retire Reggie Miller and them, and they thought that would be the end of Reggie there. They tried to put Reggie Miller with the Los Angeles Lakers right after they lost the NBA Finals. They tried to move him to the Los Angeles Lakers because Bird retired. Chris Smith's retired. The Davis boys was pretty much gone in the trade. Isaiah Thomas came in and was coach the very next year after they just went to the finals. Now you got Isaiah in as the coach. And Reggie didn't want to go to LA, didn't want to run. He stayed there even though they were in a rebuild mode. And Isaiah was rebuilding them to be a powerhouse. But that was a rebuild mode. Now you got this thing going on in LA. You don't have a new team to beat. So here comes Philadelphia 76ers and Allen Iverson. Why? Because Allen Iverson is the biggest star in the league at this point. Everybody is AI crazy. So now what we got to do? We got to do this Rocky and Mick situation with Mike Brown, and he's, oh, my coach. It was ridiculous. It was the marketing ploy to get them. He couldn't stand Mike Brown still, but he's like, hey, we're winning games. Play the right way. I finally got him under control, and now he's playing the right way. And now Allen Iverson's still playing as Allen Iverson. Now he's just getting all the attention, MVP, what have you, right? They beat the Bucks. They beat Toronto, whatever. They get to the NBA Finals. Allen Iverson has the best game one. The ratings was through the roof for that game. And then all goes flat because they couldn't build it up on anything. So people was like, next year, right, in the NBA, if you're smart, you try to build Philly back up, like get them stronger so that you can have a good rivalry here. Philly and the Lakers, you got a good rivalry. And the NBA was like, okay, we're going to do this. Then boom, Allen Iverson's hurt because you didn't have any players on the team in Philly that could really suffice. You didn't get him any veteran players. You didn't put anybody around him so that they could really go back and be a threat. You just rode the wave of Allen Iverson doing this and that, and next thing you know, he's banged up and hurt. And it's like, well, what are we going to do? New Jersey Nets. The New Jersey Nets? Sure, they play decent basketball, and they could beat teams in the East. Vince Carter and the Raptors, they were hurt. Like Vince got hurt. So without Vince, now that's ruined. And it's like everybody else suck and they're old and no one's revamped or built the teams up because all the marketing money is into the Lakers. No one cares about what's going on in the East. So you don't know. It takes two to tango. You need something in the East to be suffice in the West so people would watch it. Does anybody remember the Lakers playing the Nets at all? This is where it started to unravel. So the league was losing money like crazy. And people had stopped watching. Because it was like, who are we watching? We're tired of watching Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, take a basketball, dunk it, ooh, and that's the game. Why are we allowing that to be the representation of the game? That's the problem. We let someone take a basketball, go down the court, dunk it, swing like a doggone baboon, and act as if this is what basketball is. A guy elbowing people in the face, turning around and dunking the ball. There's no centers anymore in the game because they want more free-flowing, and that's going to slow things down. Now Shaq could just be dominant. We're going to swallow the whistle and let him just dunk the ball all the time because we need Shaq to be successful. Now I got to sit here and listen to Shaq talk about how great he was. It's like, no, you weren't. But this is what happens when you get to a point where the people don't respect you anymore. This is what happens when you get to a point of no acceptance. And when people look at you, they see a joke. People don't have a history of not liking everything you bring to the table. So this is where the dominoes first started to go left. This is where it first started to fall off the rails. Yeah, then next thing you know, you got the San Antonio Spurs. Western Conference Finals is always going to be high, but they shouldn't be higher than the NBA Finals. The San Antonio Spurs came and beat them. And now all of the stuff that they talk about is put to the forefront. Oh, yeah, you know it. Now, ask yourself this. Why do you think they take the liberties to promote to you the game in such a fashion? They take the liberties because they know that they can. And they thinking, what else are you going to watch? So they didn't try to improve the entertainment or the game itself, or even try to figure out how to strengthen teams so that they would be a threat or a contender. Nobody really had a personality. And this is how Detroit was able to build themselves up from the ashes, because they were the only team with a personality and was playing basketball. And they came together and it was like, okay, we got a throwback. We got something here. And they just took it. They the one that gave the NBA that thrust. But they were like, this is not what we want. But we have nothing in place in the East. So LeBron was just getting there, and he was going to be the face of the league. So from high school, LeBron was brought in to save the NBA. He was going to lead the next generation of young talent. They didn't know anything about Dwayne Wade. The league didn't know anything about him. Just he's a good role player. That's what they thought. It was about Carmelo Anthony versus LeBron. They were supposed to go into NBA finals versus each other, going back and forth, vying for NBA championships in East and West. LeBron was supposed to bring the East back. He was going to be the guy, but it was going to take some time to develop him to be an all-around player. But he gave the legitimacy of he could play, like he can do transition, but he was limited. And they knew they can work around his limitations. So Operation Plan to build LeBron up went into effect. Then they had other teams that were actually good to come along. Didn't matter. Operation LeBron was still in effect. Carmelo Anthony ends up going to the Knicks and ruined their plans. And because Kobe was going to leave, the Denver Nuggets was going to be that team that was going to be there. And they wanted Cleveland versus the Nuggets, LeBron, and versus Melo, NBA Finals. But Melo forced his way out. Couldn't get along with the coach. Coach didn't like him. And from that point on, it just went left. So a lot of things transpired that brought on the demise. They start bringing in stupid events. They start spending all this extra money trying to get away from the dunk contest. People didn't want to compete in it anymore, saying they need to pay them more money in order to do it. Like, man, I'm not, you're going to have to pay me. Players got, back then they didn't have trainers, personal trainers. They didn't have a personal like massage therapist. They didn't have a personal workout guy. You didn't have any of this back in the day. You had, after All-Star weekend, you had probably 2 days off, or you had to play after, like the game was on Sunday, by Tuesday you were playing. Period. Everybody back to work Tuesday. Now you get a whole week off for the All-Star game. You got all these rests, and they're still arguing about should we cut the games. Why would you cut the games? That don't make any sense. So as you can see, it's just more and more fabrications and lies that are put in place that's supposed to mean something to the actual people in the general public. So they changed the rules to make it lighter, to remove the big guys out of the lane, to clear it for LeBron to be dominant, thinking that's going to bring the excitement. This is going to bring people to the game. Major League Baseball wins because it's about the game. It's about family. So families go to the game to see baseball, even though they were having a tough time adjusting to these TikTok kids. And these back then it was Snapchat, Instagram. As social media is changing and evolving, the NBA wants to cater to those people and ruin the entire formation of the game itself. So David Stern doesn't want to change. And they feel that he's too old for the league. He's too old school. These young players can't identify with him because he's not letting LeBron James dictate anything that he wants. Even though David Stern was right there when he jumped ship from Cleveland and went to Miami. And they had a big super team. ESPN was behind it. The NBA was behind it. The LeBron James team was behind it. This was all in play. So to keep this a secret, making it a big reveal, it was on ESPN, and they blamed LeBron for it, which I got mad at them and defended LeBron because I said, look, this is not all on LeBron. ESPN's got to take they blow for this. This was on their network. They set all this up. You think the NBA just sat there and didn't know what was going on? They were all culprits. But when it all went bad, They threw it all on LeBron. So when you see that, you're like, okay, this is what it is. Well, Nike really didn't. They really wasn't important in this, but in that decision, Nike's gonna go anywhere it decided they wanted to go. Another mistake, putting Nike in charge of the uniforms instead of Adidas. That happened once the Golden State Warriors success came 3-4 years after the fact. They switched from Adidas and went to Nike and went to the cheapest China-made jerseys in history. An Adidas jersey would last you forever. Nike jerseys, you'll tear them if you accidentally, somebody pull on it. That whole thing ripped just instantly. It's like a Hulk Hogan t-shirt. Ah, I am a real American. When they chased super teams, that began to start a trend. Because if LeBron do it, everybody else gonna say, well, hell, LeBron did it. Why can't we do it? And it started a floodgate. They were like, oh, wait. That was only for LeBron. Wait, what? No, we got to stop this. Now this is out of control. I'm going to play with him. We're going to have a super team. They had the big three. We're going to be the big five. No, this is wrong. This is out of control. No, we can do it. LeBron did it. So now it became a spiraling effect where everybody is cynical saying, well, hell, is everybody else doing it? Why not us? So everybody started to come in and do it. No, only when Kevin Durant, who was a free agent, chose to sign with Golden State, did it become a problem because it's messing up the flow of what LeBron James wants. LeBron was, no, don't help Golden State. No, I can't win. So now all the LeBron fans are upset. You ruined it, Kevin Durant. Thank you, Kevin Durant, because it needed to be ruined. Shouldn't have never been put in there in the first place. So now the NBA is losing money on NBA finals. All the money that people thought they were making by putting LeBron with the Miami Heat, they actually lost money. People were not interested in them anymore. The ratings and the numbers started to drop once they got to the San Antonio Spurs in that series, and nobody cared about seeing the Miami Heat go to the NBA Finals 4 straight times. That meant your East was destroyed. You didn't market it. You didn't promote anything about them. You didn't promote the Pistons. You didn't promote anything. And the league started to die off. So when they came back to the table for these bargaining agreements, it was 2-player friendly. And they said, when we get back to the new deal, and I was like, man, when they get to this new deal, the players are going to get screwed because they took too much advantage of this that was beneficial for them. They didn't look at it as a privilege. They took advantage. Then you have another losing season of money. All through the Miami years, the league was doing this, going down, and they didn't understand why. Don't people like LeBron? It was, no, they don't. And then in 2015, you see a spike, boom, out of nowhere. Then you got the little kids back into the game. Why? Because of a guy named Steph Curry. Steph Curry was a big splash to the NBA. All the little kids are coming back. So you lost those kids who were 8 years old all the way down. You lost that crowd. Now the NBA became adult level, like teenager and up. And once it was there, the money was doing this because there's no little kids involved no more. LeBron is grown, growing his balls. And, you know, he thugged out in Miami. He was not a good guy. He was a villain. And now, because they're the villains in Miami, nobody really cared about him. Steph Curry brought the younger audience back. That money, that that's where the money at anyway, in movies and everything. When you got a film where the little kids come, that's why the Disney movies keeps the movie theaters open. Now you got the 8-year-olds, the 9-year-olds, the 11 and 12-year-olds. They got a hero. They got Steph Curry. He goes around, he goes through his legs, he puts the shots up. They're on their phones, like, look at Steph, man, he's shooting these threes. So Steph brought all the excitement back. Clay's involved. Now they're the Splash Brothers, and everybody is so happy. They win the championship. Everybody's a Golden State Warriors fan. Overnight, people from Nebraska, Warriors! It didn't matter. They were worldwide. They brought the game back. They brought the numbers back, the ratings. So they were like, great, now we'll just put LeBron with them all the time. So now, once that's gone, Adam Silver's been gone. He's in retirement. He is coaching as a mentor. When Steph Curry and them was coming, telling them, hey, this is the wave you've been looking for. That's the kid. That's the future. He told Adam Silver that. That's your guy. That's your star. That's going to be the lightning rod and the example of what to do. What did they do? Stopping the rise of Steph Curry. Kobe's going into retirement the same year. All of this have nothing to do with LeBron. LeBron wants to make it about him. So they're cutting out all these pieces about LeBron. Where will he go? Will he leave? LeBron is this. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. And they're taking all the attention away from the Warriors. And then they said, okay, well, LeBron's going to win one more in Cleveland. One championship for Cleveland. So we got to give him this one. And I told people this was going to happen when they won it in 2015. And I said, well, the Warriors won the championship. Cleveland's going to win it this year. Then the Warriors will win it next year. This script, I never thought they would do it 4 times because it wasn't supposed to happen 4 times. LeBron was actually supposed to lose. It was supposed to be the Celtics that was in there. But Kyrie got hurt and Gordon Hayward got hurt. But that was the plan, to have the Boston Celtics versus the Warriors with Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, and they had rookie Tatum and Brown was on the team. So this was supposed to be the showdown. That Kyrie got hurt and Gordon Hayward got hurt in game 1 for the season. So that changed the dynamic of everything. Now, so they were forced to just put LeBron right back into the championship fray. Like, they were a bad team. They had no chance against Golden State. They've been better sending Tatum and Brown. I would have rather watched that series than that. But David Stern knows you don't send a team, and you're supposed to learn from the mistakes you made prior. You sent LeBron to like 8 straight NBA finals. That told you your league was in trouble. The league was in trouble. And I said they're in trouble because you're not developing any of your teams. You're not promoting and marketing any of your teams in the East or the West. You're only promoting like 3 teams, maybe 4. Golden State and the Rockets. That was basically it. So your national televised games don't mean anything because the fans don't care about them because you don't care about them. So if you don't care about your own games, why should they? It's common sense. One hand washing the other. Now, like I told you, back when we were watching the game, we would watch the Pacers and the Knicks. We knew, that's a rivalry. They finna go. They didn't have to have a championship. We're going to watch that. They finna go at it. Pistons and Knicks finna play. We going, this finna be good. We knew the games. Bulls, Pistons, Knicks, Pistons, Knicks, the Bulls. You know, it was just rivalries. The Milwaukee Bucks and the Pacers. Anything in those East, we was watching those games. Phoenix Suns versus the Lakers. You know, we used to watch those games in Houston Rockets versus Phoenix. That was a rivalry. You know, it was always competition. Spurs Rockets, rivalry. Now it's all this fraternizing on the court and not with their teammates, with the other team. They, yeah, what's up, boy? Yeah. And it takes away from the game, the competition. It's like, what's going on here? I don't want to see you cool with them. Because the fans who watching the game is like, I can't stand that team. Been disliking this team for 30 years. And then here you are on the team, celebrating and high-fiving the other guy. I ain't saying you got to hate them, but for 2 hours, got to try to take them out. Shoot, that's what's going on here. Now, everybody knew Seattle and Phoenix is coming. Seattle and Phoenix, that's a rivalry. But the expansion and all of this is coming down the road. Everybody know that's coming. But let's get to the most common parts of the destruction. All of these side shows that Adam Silver is doing. He's not a basketball guy. He knows nothing about it. He is a businessman. He does charity foundations like NBA Cares and all of this stuff. This is all Adam Silver's work. This is where he needs to be. Leave him in that department because he tries to run and be the commissioner of the entire NBA, a man who doesn't understand basketball. He lets this thing become a plague. And once the pandemic hit and there was going to be no playoffs and no NBA finals, the NBA was basically filing for bankruptcy after 1 year because they couldn't afford to lose the playoffs and the finals. That's why they were like forcing everybody to come back, even though it's a pandemic. People had a choice if they were going to play or not. And LeBron was like, come on, we playing, because he want to win because it's all designed for him to win a championship. And it's set up for them to win it. So he want everybody to come back to play. So they were like, I don't want to do this. Nobody wanted to come back and do it. But the advertisement money was so great. This is hundreds and like millions and millions of dollars. They could not afford to let that money go to somebody else. So the NBA is like, come on, we got to put this thing back on. They put the bubble, all of it. It lost so much in ratings, people didn't even care, and they were at home during this time. Like most people was working from home and wouldn't watch the NBA. So now that that's happened and the game is ruined, right? Going in that direction. Do you want to imagine what happened next? No, The Last Dance did not save the NBA. The Last Dance just really put younger people on to Michael Jordan and the Bulls and made it solidified that LeBron James ain't shit. So they were watching the Bulls and like, man, they're the best team in the world. Now you got 12-year-olds running around here talking about Michael Jordan's the greatest. It just built up Michael Jordan. Now, here's the narrative that went down. LeBron never lived up to the expectations. Like they propped him up, but he wasn't doing anything great. And at the 16 years in the league, it was like, okay, we got to start winding down from LeBron and moving on to others. You stop marketing Steph Curry to still promote LeBron James and trying to use Steph Curry to uplift LeBron. It's like, we have to move away from that. This isn't working. People don't like this man because there's nothing to like. It's not appeasing to watch him play basketball. His attitude, the way he acts off the court, they don't like him. He's a phony. They see that. And you got something good here with Steph Curry. Market him. Market your younger talent that's going up against that. You got the Rockets with James Harden them going up against their teams, the Rockets and OKC. And, you got people doing that battle with Russ and all them going up in there. Then the Rockets are playing the Warriors. What my man said, Benny the Butcher, OKC versus the White Rockets. What he said, Golden State versus the Rockets, and we're going to risk our dates to watch it. And that was the truth. Back then, we weren't going to miss that game. That Western Conference Finals with the Rockets and them, we wanted to watch those games. Now, what became a problem for the league is not caring about the rest of their league. So the NBA went on a loan just so they could do the bubble, so they could pay it back. They had all this insurance money they never cashed in on until that pandemic, so that they could pay the players and get this dome. They needed that. Now, I'm quite sure they paid back the loan by now, but now you got this new rights deal. And the NBA is split. You got ESPN, you got Peacock, you got ABC, you got it split in so many different ways to where everybody's not on the same page. NBC and Peacock understand the problem, and they're trying to rewrite the problem. And the things are going to get bad before it gets better. So this is not a bad thing right now. The NBA is going to lose money for this first year, but they're doing the right things to turn the ship around. So that's what people are missing. This is a necessity. This is a necessary, rather. This needs to happen, in other words. It's got to get bad before it gets better, because you got to get rid of the bad juju like LeBron James. You got to get rid of him. All of the stench of him, Bronny James, you got to get all that crap out of the league and start working with your talent. Stop looking for manufactured bullshit that you want to be stars. You're bringing in a basketball that you're manipulating, shots going in and out. You're fucking the game up doing that. Stop doing that. When we had the Spalding Bowl, if the ball go in, it's good. If it don't, that's the game. That's why you play the game. All this prop bets, sports bets, you're looking at it and you're taking it down a road it's not supposed to go. You're doing the entertainment and you're putting that before the game. And now the game is being altered by your entertainment. Manufacturing all of this craziness. There's no more team. Now, and this time, when you watch Peacock, they're like, look, we're marketing our young talent. I'm not marketing LeBron. Luka, I'll market Tatum, SGA, Giannis. They want guys like that. They don't want to market one team. They want each team should have a superstar. That's how it used to be. And you market teams, you have rivalry, Wemby, all of these guys. Now, Wembanyama is the big guy, but they ain't just marketing Wemby by himself, right? They marketing all of their talent, as the NBA should have been doing, instead of putting all of their money into one basket on a guy that's been proven year after year after year no one likes. So we have to learn to stop doing that. We're putting ourselves behind the 8 ball yet again. We got great games this season, and they don't even talk about it. And now, what makes it worse? Sports media. For the NBA, There's nobody, no other sport that would allow someone to go around and continuously make situations worse than the NBA. Meaning that when NFL come around, if somebody else was talking football, like NFL or whatever, they wouldn't even say anything. You know, like most of the guys who talk football, they talk surface level, and they'd be like, all right, it's cool. He's just passionate about his team. Now, anybody who gets on microphone in front of them, and most of these are nerds. These are guys who never played the damn sport except for on a video game. They watch the game and they got their little podcast channels, and these gaming nerds come out and they try to break down the NBA game to you. A guy that watches the game, that knows the game. They don't even watch the goddamn game. They watch TikTok clips and try to define an entire moment off a clip. I mean, he's at GOAT status right now, dude. I mean, he's got to be. I mean, yeah, Anthony Edwards, man, yeah, he's GOAT level now. Yeah, I think he's GOAT level. After that dunk, yeah, he's GOAT level. This is the type of media coverage you're getting now for the sport of basketball. And they're putting these people and giving them deal saying this is, no, they're promoting the sport. No, they're not. They're glazing players who are mediocre at best off of a moment. A moment that happened in a game, a dunk. When people figure it out, then you'll understand it better. You know, I've never been a person that didn't figure it out. I knew right away what was wrong with the league. So these are the elements that led the NBA to people saying, oh, nah, because now you got competition. Because of streaming and everybody can watch things that they want to watch, other people don't make that mistake. The NFL sponsored team. They promote team. It's not just one player. Sure, if you're a player is superstar talent, they normally market the quarterback because they're going to have the longer tenure of being on the team. Or you're a superstar, like defensive player, you stand out. They'll market that. But it's always team. Nothing comes before team in the NFL. The Cowboys, the Bears, the Packers, the Steelers. You know, that's what it's about. Team. NBA is always about individual player. Curry versus LeBron tonight at 3. I'll be like, really? You see, that's where you have a problem. Laker fans aren't ungrateful. Laker fans are disgusted. Because what did they get from LeBron? Nothing. Luka's already lifting the team up to the number 1 spot. LeBron brought nothing here. He got you a bubble championship that they set up so that they can get for money because they was on a loan. No one credits that. Kobe brought in 5 championships. Magic Johnson brought in 5. They don't look at banners for going there. That's not what they hang up there in Los Angeles. So Laker fans have a standard. You can't walk into Boston and start talking about, hey, man, we at least made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're going to be, what? These are your 16 and 17-time champions. They're not thinking in that manner. They think we're supposed to be winning championships. That's what we do here. So I'm just glad the ship is getting righted, finally, You got to right the ship at some point. Yeah. So things are going in the direction it's supposed to. It's got to get bad before it gets better. It's got to get bad before it gets better. So you just got to understand they're going to lose money. But in the long run, it will get better because you're back promoting team. We're watching teams play now. We ain't just watching an individual player. Still the gameplay, some of it is pretty bad, but they can tweak that. They gotta, to me, I think they need to get away from Wilson and go back to Spalding and get away from this magnet ball shit. That's really messing the game up. You got guys going for 83, 63, everybody shooting threes and just playing drive and kick, and everybody's trying to look the same. No real flow of an offense. And some people get mad. It's not appeasing to watch. There's no spectacular plays anymore. You don't really see too many guys getting dunked on. 3 guys getting dunked on was way more impressive than one guy getting a dunk on a guy. It just was. I'm sorry. And for me, I have a soft spot for those who don't seem to understand it, but I have a very good soft spot for Well, the referees are terrible, but their hands are tied. The refereeing has been bad and worse, but it's like, how do you referee this shit? Some of it is like, look, they got an agenda that they have to stick to, but it's like, you can't. What's traveling? You got guys traveling, taking 3 or 4 steps because they can't get separation from a player. They all playing one-on-one. You got more dangerous injuries now, from ACL to Achilles being torn over and over again because all this stop and go and cut back, stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. You're tearing your knees apart. And I don't know why these so-called trainers, these guys got all this trainers, all this rest. So it is what it is, man. But thank y'all, man. Don't forget to join my Patreon, which is Carcino for Life. Thanks for everybody who super chatted. Thanks for everybody who hit my Cash App up, Carcino. I'm going to read the Cash Apps on the next live stream we do. We're going to do it later because we got some breaking news.